Today we're going to be taking a look at the September 2025 game releases for the Nintendo Switch 1 and the Nintendo Switch 2. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in with the game that all of us are excited about, or at least a lot of us are, and that is Hollow Knight Silksong on September 4th, Switch 1 and Switch 2. And yeah, this game has been getting rave demos from PAX in addition to Gamescom. People have talked about how great the controls are, how good it looks graphically. The gameplay is a lot of fun. The movement and options are great as well. The level design is good and upgraded, so people are excited about this. It's been a long time coming for this game, been in development for like 7+ years at this point, but it's finally coming out. We need to wait on some of the other details when it comes to the pricing and stuff like that, but for right now the game is looking really good and it's coming out very soon as of the time that I'm recording this video. So Hollow Knight Silksong, looking forward to it myself, cannot wait to play September 4th. Definitely one of my most anticipated titles on this list. Next up is Cronos, the New Dawn on September 5th. This game is coming out for Nintendo Switch 2, and this game also looks really cool if you're into like the Dead Space and horror type of genre, franchise, stuff like that. If you like Resident Evil, or if you like Dead Space, if you like these type of games, I think Cronos, the New Dawn will probably be for you. Now we still have to wait and see exactly how good that Nintendo Switch 2 port is going to be, but I would say just keep your eye on it if you like those type of games. And if you're looking for some type of horror game, I know that the developers said that they want to be like one of the top horror publishers on the Nintendo Switch 2, so that does give me some faith that this is going to be a solid version of the game on the platform on September 5th. Next up on September 5th is Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, another really cool looking game. This is a mech title and a follow-up to the original Daemon X Machina on the Nintendo Switch 1 and PC, but you don't necessarily have to play all that game and know everything there to understand this one. This one is a number of years and all that later, and different characters and different story, different type of stuff, but there are some ties and nods to that. So at the bare minimum, probably watch a retrospective or a roundup of the information there. But what makes this game so exciting is the customization and the open-endedness of it. They've opened it up quite a bit. It's kind of like an open world type of game now at this point. Got multiple different places you can go to, different places you can mine, and also do side quests as well. But it's super customizable mech game. Really customizable overall. You can change out your armor, what you're wearing, your weapons and all that. And there's a demo available right now if you want to play it, and it transfers over to the main game. The only issue that some people see here when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 version is that there's no 60 FPS for the Switch 2 version, which it should have been 60 FPS in my opinion. And one of the better things with the game is that it actually has a 64GB full release cartridge here in the West. In Japan, it's a key card, but over here in the West, it is a full release. So you could pick that up too if you're looking for that full real release of Switch 2 games. So what do you guys think about Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion? That's coming out on September 5th. Next up is everybody's Golf Hot Shots, September 5th on the Switch 1, but of course backwards compatibility. You can play on the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. And this one's interesting because this is a Sony IP, and this is one of their initiatives that they have for some of their smaller games to get moved over multi-platform. It's coming to PC, but it's also coming to Nintendo Switch 1. And of course, with that backwards compatibility, you can play it. Probably looks better and runs better on the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. So I'm not a big everybody's golf fan or even a golf game fan that much. I do play Mario Golf just a little bit. Used to play a lot more back in the day, and I used to actually be into golf games a lot more, but not as much in today's day. But if you're interested in a good golf game, everybody's Golf Hot Shots might be the game for you. Next up is NBA 2K26 on September 5th. This is coming to Switch 1 and to Nintendo Switch 2, and apparently the Switch 2 version is the fully featured next gen, and I don't know why we're using that term anymore. I should just say current gen of what's going on at this point. So you're gonna get the PS5, Xbox Series fully featured and all of that. Switch 1, I don't know how good or not that's going to be, but the Switch 2 version seems to be okay, although there's no early access, so a lot of the fans of NBA 2K were saying, hey, we want to see the Switch 2 version of the game because portable basketball is awesome. So we're gonna have to wait on that, but September 5th is the day, so we'll see how it actually turns out for NBA 2K fans. Not a huge fan myself, and there's a lot of things with NBA 2K that I don't necessarily like, but I used to play back in the day, and it's a solid basketball simulator game if you're looking for that. But before we get into the next games, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos as soon as they go up. All right, next up is the Bubsy, the Purrfect collection on September 9th. This is for Switch 1, backwards compatibility on this one as well. And it's a collection of all the different Bubsy games that you've played or maybe you haven't played when it comes to like Super Nintendo. And I think Bubsy 3D is in there as well. So yeah, if it's something that you want to play, you can check it out. The new game that's coming out, Fabraz is working on that, and it loos pretty cool. Bubsy 4, like it does look like they're actually taking some time. That guy's pretty good. He made Demon Turf as well, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to 3D platformers. He has a speed running type of angle to it, but you can also play the newest one normal. But this is about the Purrfect collection, so if you are interested in the origins of this memeable type of character, this cat that runs around, collects yarn balls and stuff, you can check that out. I played the games back in the day, so I'm good on that. I'll probably try out the new game, but yeah, I don't really feel like playing this myself. But if you're interested, it's coming out September 9th. All right, next up is actually a pretty interesting game, and it's called HYKE Northern Lights, September 18th for the Nintendo Switch 1. And at first I had no idea what this game was or what it is or anything, but it actually looks really cool, and it's now one of my most anticipated games for September because this is kind of like a 2D top-down action pixel RPG. You got to go with this young witch. Her name is HYKE, and that's where her adventure begins. You can relax and camp with your companions. You can fight, you can cook, you can do all these different types of things. But I think that the combat actually looks really good, and it's gorgeous when it comes to the pixel art overall. I do like the character design, and I think that this actually might be kind of a pretty cool independent type of game to play. So I'm actually looking forward to it now at this point. So check it out. It's called HYKE Northern Lights, and it's coming out on September 18th. All right, next up, we're going to go to a game called Towa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. And this game, I think it was showcased in one of Nintendo's presentations, but it actually looks pretty cool. So this is a roguelite set in a far-off mystic realm. Ancient forces stir and unfold dangers await as Towa lead the Guardians of the Sacred Tree in forging strong relationships and powerful swords to fight Magatsu's forces and determine the future of the Shinju village. So yeah, if you're into roguelites and you're into games, like let's say Hades and stuff like that, I think that this game is probably going to be for you. And once again, it looks awesome overall. Looks like it has a pretty cool, vibrant style to it. Bandai Namco is on this one when it comes to the publisher. Brownies Inc., they're the ones who are developing it, so they've got a pretty good pedigree when it comes to Brownies Inc., when it comes to making games. So if you're into roguelites, you're into isometric type of action games and all of that, check out Towa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. Next up is a game that I'm super excited about, and that is Trails in the Sky, first chapter, September 19th. This is on Switch 1 and Switch 2, but there is a $1 upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2 version. So there's no physical on the Switch 2, but if you want to buy the Switch 1 version of the game physical and then upgrade it for $1 on the Switch 2, you can do that. There's also a demo available right now on the Nintendo Switch 1 that you can download or on other platforms, PC, PlayStation, and the game is really good. The impressions from people that are playing the demo, from what you can see, it's as good as it looks. If you are not into the Trails series and you want to get into it, this is the place to start overall. The combat is superb, the graphics look great, the music is awesome and on point. Overall, Trails has always been one of those franchises that has a deep history and lore and fan base, but I think that this will probably be the breakout title that gets it past that initial level that's so hard to break past when it comes to RPGs because there's so many good ones. Trails in the Sky first chapter is definitely a game to pick up and play for all RPG fans out there. If you like Xenoblade, if you like Fire Emblem, if you like turn-based RPGs, if you like action RPGs, because there's a hybrid system in this, then definitely Trails in the Sky first chapter. Check it out. I'm going to be playing it a lot myself. I'm looking forward to the game, and they've actually had so much content added into this one, so it's not just the original game. The developers say that it's going to take around 80 hours to complete, 160 hours to 100%, because there's just so much stuff to do in the game, so it can be a little bit daunting, but I do think that it's worth a try, at least with the free demo. So Trails in the Sky first chapter, definitely check that one out. Next up is Death on the Nile, September 25th for the Switch 1, and this is another interesting game. This is based off of Agatha Christie's novel, and I think there's a movie and other stuff like that. So essentially, Death on the Nile is an adventure detective game offering a fresh twist on Agatha Christie's famous story. Set in the lively 1970s, play as Hercule Poirot and Detective Jane Royce as they solve two connected mysteries, dive into a journey filled with intrigue, deception, and unexpected revelations. I have no idea how good or bad or anything this game is going to be, but if you're into this type of stuff, it actually looks kind of cool graphically and all that, so you can check it out. Murder mystery type of stuff, maybe kind of like LA Noire, maybe without the open world, but more detective stuff that you can do and kind of mini games and things that you can explore. So if you're into these type of games, definitely check that out. Death on the Nile, September 25th. Next up, we've got another interesting game coming out, and that's called Mamorukun ReCurse, September 25th for Switch 1. Backwards compatibility, of course. And essentially it says, everyone gather at the Yokai Disco. The cursed shooting party begins. All past game modes, additional characters, and BGM are included at once. So looks like it's a re-release of a game that already came out, but they have a bunch of cool stuff and they put everything together, and it's like the best version of the game. But looks like a bullet hell type of shooter that you can go around and have a lot of fun with. So if you're into bullet hell shooters, then definitely check out Mamorukun ReCurse on Switch 1. Next up is a big game here, and that is Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, September 25th. Switch 1 version for right now at this point, and the Switch 2 version is coming later down the line, so look out for that. There will be an upgrade path, and the Switch 2 version does have a real 64GB cartridge, no game key card, but we're going to have to wait for more details on all of that. There is a demo that you can play, and the impressions are it's 30 FPS on Switch 1 with some kind of crusty looking gameplay overall, but there is PlayStation, Xbox, PC if you want to pick it up on there, or if you want to just wait for the Nintendo Switch 2 version, you can just do that. But yeah, people are saying that it's a blast. I've gotten a range of mixed emotions and opinions on this game. I do think that ultimately it's going to be a solid game. It's going to be a good game that people are going to enjoy, especially if you're into Sega and Sonic franchises. I think you'll like it. And if you're looking for a bit more of a grounded type of gameplay that Mario Kart has, might not be for you, but you can try it out yourself and see what you think. I'm already playing too many racing games this year because I have Kirby coming out as well, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to play it or not, but I'll definitely check it out at some point, especially like when it comes to Switch 2. I'll probably play it officially there. But Sonic Racing CrossWorlds looking really good. Looks like it's going to play really good as well. Looks like it's a lot of fun with your friends and all that, especially if you're into Sonic. So September 25th for that game. Next up is Cladun X3, September 26th for Switch 1. And this is, once again, another interesting game that I had no idea about. So it says, essentially, villains from near and far have been summoned to Arcanus Cilia to participate in a death game in the name of achieving world peace. Do you have what it takes to become the ultimate evil? Test your might and mettle in this highly customizable action RPG. Wow, that sounds crazy overall. This one's from Nippon Ichi Software and published by NIS America, so I think that there's going to be some type of interesting plays to this too. A world peace death game, so in order to achieve the world peace, there needs to be a lot of violence going on. So interesting as well for that. Cladun X3 coming out on September 26th. Next up is EA Sports FC 26 on September 26th. That's coming apparently to Switch 1 and Switch 2. Switch 2 version is the more enhanced or better version. I'm not big on football or soccer, as people call it here in the US, so I don't really know too much about this one, but if you're into football, if you're into playing these type of games, I'm pretty sure it will be a solid experience for you out there. And of course, they do these every single year, so you guys can let me know what are the cool things that you're looking forward to when it comes to EA Sports FC, which used to be called FIFA, but I guess they lost the license for that one as well. So EA Sports FC, September 26th. Next up is NBA Bounce on September 26th, where you're playing basketball with the mascots of the NBA. And I'm not sure who decided to think about this one and why people would want to do that, but I mean, I guess if you want to play that, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it or anything like that. So yeah, if you want to play NBA Bounce, you can check it out. It's coming out September 26th on Switch 1 and other platforms as well. Next up is Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac on September 26th. This is Switch 1 and Switch 2, and this game is actually looking really cool. It is a full remake of that original PlayStation 2, that original 6th generation game, and it looks really good. They did a comparison of the graphics and all that, and it's the Pac-Man. He's back, and it looks great. I think that they did a good job in terms of a AA type of 3D platformer. We don't get a lot of 3D platformers out there, so I do think that this one might be worth looking into, especially if you like the original Pac-Man World game, which came out a bit ago. This one could be pretty cool as well. Looks like it's going to have a lot of different environments, cool music, and just fun gameplay overall for a 3D platformer. Nothing super crazy. Don't expect a Donkey Kong Bonanza or Astro Bot type of game or Mario Odyssey, but I do think that it's nice for like that second tier type of 3D platformer out there. So Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, September 26th. All right, next up is Lego Party on September 30th for the Nintendo Switch 1, and it's essentially Mario Party with Legos. So if you're looking for Mario Party with Legos, you can check it out. It does look like it's pretty fun, and it takes some of the best concepts of Mario Party and then adds their own unique, I would say, comedy and mix to it like Lego can only do. So if you're into Legos, got kids that want to play it as well, or even adults, if you grew up with Legos, this might be a game for you if you're into Mario Party and if you're into Legos. So Lego Party, September 30th as well. That's a Switch 1 game, of course, backwards compatibility. And finally on the list here, we've got Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evilist Chronicles on September 30th. This is a Switch 1 and Switch 2 game. There is an upgrade available for it. It is a game key card on Switch 2, so you might want to just, once again, buy that Switch 1 version, then upgrade it to the Nintendo Switch 2. And this game, I'm super excited about. This is definitely one of my most anticipated games, and it seems like they wanted to completely avoid all the other games September, the very end, September 30th. But yeah, this one looks awesome. So it features fully voiced dialogue with this one, beautifully enhanced graphics. It does look a lot better if you're into the smoother look of the old school game. Some people might like the original. And countless gameplay improvements. The genre-defining tactical RPG makes its long-awaited return. So if you're into Fire Emblem, you're gonna have to pick this up. Mario plus Rabbids, pick this one up, because this is a strategy RPG that still to this day people say is the best strategy RPG of all time, or easily one of the best strategy RPGs of all time. Now there is just a little bit of controversy with this, just because the game doesn't come with some of the content that was released in some of the other re-releases of this, but you're still going to get one of the better, if not best, version of the base game overall, and it looks and plays beautifully from the screenshots and from the trailers that they've released so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to this quite a bit, coming out at the end of the month. And once again, you have that Switch 2 upgrade as well with the Switch 1 card. So what do you guys think about all the different titles that are coming out here for September? What are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.